Black students if they didn't have to walk hallways in straight, quiet lines like prison? What would schooling look like if educators centered the well-being of Black students instead of school codes of conduct?
A lot of what schooling does is to not affirm, is to make Black children and Black people and brown people feel inferior from the inception, right? We all, and we start this with just very young children in general, where we see them as full of deficits and focus on the things they can't do. But it's even done to a further extreme with Black children, right? Where they're not only a deficit, their whole family and their whole culture and their whole people are a deficit, right? So we have to address that.
I mean, white supremacy is at the heart of everything that they do. To them, whiteness is dominant. Anybody else is not. It's not about teaching our children how to read and write. No, they're socially engineering our children. And why they're doing that, they're socially engineering our children in their image and their likeness. Not allowing them to flourish because they're made in God's image and likeness. No, they want to socially engineer our children in their image and likeness. Because like I said before, once you're able to make them pliable and malleable, you can turn them. They're like putty in your hands. You can mold and shape them into the little radical that you want them to be. You can mold and shape them into the little radical that you want them to be, to bring about your quote-unquote educational vengeance. Not educational justice, educational vengeance. You can take their minds, the minds that they have, their precious minds. You can manipulate that and use that against them. You can use that against them and against society. You can press those buttons to drive anger, to drive outrage, to lead them to express themselves like the Hulk did when Bruce Banner got angry. It's all intentional. It's all a trick. It's all a game. But I'm here to tell you, we are not victims. We are empowered for greatness. And I push back against any attempt by the woke avengers to utilize our children for their agenda. So that's why I encourage educational opportunities. I encourage parental choice. I encourage educational freedom. In particular for Black and brown children who are brought up in these failing schools intentionally. Brought up in these failing schools intentionally. That's another trick that they have. They have these students in these failing schools and they blame the affluent community. As I say, the reason why we're not doing so well is because they're taking all the money. No, it's intentional. You have plenty of money to go around. You choose to allow these schools to remain in their condition. You'd rather them not learn how to read and write, but be little radicals. So I push back against that. We are not victims. We are empowered for greatness. I implore you parents, stand up for your children. Push back against this educational justice, this educational retribution, this educational retaliation that the woke agenda has. They're looking to bring about a pound of flesh. They want blood. And they're using our children to do it. But we are not victims. We are empowered for greatness. Thank you so much for liking and your comments and subscribing to the channel. Please share this with your friends. Smash that like button. Smash the subscription bell. Share this with everybody you know. We're trying to make sure people understand that they're not victims, that they are empowered for greatness, and all this stuff that's out here that's telling them otherwise is false and will not benefit them in the end. So please, I appreciate that. Share that.